I now call this show to order. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Kiwanis Connects, coming to you from all over the United States of US of A. That's right, I'm Aaron Phillips. I'm in Virginia Beach. No, I'm not in Orlando anymore because all those hurricanes said, get the hell out of here. And I said, okay, I don't want to get this wet anymore. So I am back here. And of course, as you see on the screen, this is why I love my job. We're going to title this show, The Beauties and the Beasts. That's right. I got two beauties here today with me. Of course, as always, a person who really steers the ship around here. Doc Val, how are you, my friend? Coming from Phoenix today.
Yeah, aloha, aloha. So if you start to hear any alarms and whistles, it's not for me. I'm still upright. But I am in Phoenix, Arizona at a hospital, which I said when I stopped working at hospitals that I wouldn't go back unless absolutely necessary.
So we can read between the lines on that one.
Oh, yeah. But it's the most amazing staff. You'll see them going back and forth behind me. But, you know, I actually, when I'm taking care of my family, I very rarely step away from it. I stay totally focused. But the person that we have as a guest today was the one meeting I took this week, and I've been in Phoenix since Sunday. But when she says she needs us or she wants us to be somewhere, I show up because I believe in her project. And so that's our special guest, Kylie. So, Aaron, why don't you take it away and introduce Kylie since you're meeting her today?
Yes, it's my pleasure to welcome. She is the development officer of the Kiwanis Children's Fund, based in Indianapolis, right? Our home office back there. Yeah. Kylie Kaspar Howenstein. Did I get it?
Kaspar Howenstein. We were so close.
Damn. Well, so close, let that be the worst thing. Let that be the worst mistake I make all day. Just real quickly, I want to remind everybody, thank you for watching us on Facebook, Kiwanis Connect Show, as well as the WWDBTV Las Vegas Facebook page. If you like YouTube, that's okay. We love you because you can still send messages. John will still pull them up. We'll still be able to see you on YouTube. Same two channels, Kiwanis Connects. WWDBTV is all you need there. And of course, in a couple of days, download Roku, because if you download Roku, you can then set up WWDBTV, and then you'll get the plethora of options of shows, not only for Kiwanis Connects, Aaron Zauer, and the rest, but you'll have a lot of things you can see, but more importantly, go back and watch these shows over and over and over again until you get all the information you want, especially the bad dad jokes. Yeah, that's right. I'm ready for you at the end of the show. I'm sure we have Kiwanis wow moments, right, Doc Val? Yes?
We do.
Between now and then, other than spending some great time with Kylie, the rest, folks, who the heck knows what's going to go on? We always play it by ear around here. So, Kylie, welcome to the show. Thank you for taking time with us today. We greatly appreciate it. We know you're busy, hanging around there in Indianapolis. Before I want to just spend a little general time talking about KI before we get knee deep, because I'm sure there's still plenty of our viewers trying to get into the show somewhere, wherever they are. So, talk about what it's like. First of all, how long have you been part of Kiwanis?
Oh, I just missed my 7-month anniversary.
7 months.
Happy early anniversary.
Yeah, really. Thank you. So what did you do before coming to Kiwanis?
Well, I have been in the nonprofit space professionally for 10 years.
Okay.
I came from United Way of Central Indiana and really loved what we did. There are a lot of the same goals and impact areas that we have at the Children's Fund, which are health and nutrition, education and literacy, and youth leadership development. But of course, at United Way of Central Indiana, it was on a smaller scale. And I was really intrigued by all of the great work that the Kiwanis Children's Fund has done all over the world. So that is what brought me here. And actually, I grew up less than a mile away from headquarters.
Wow.
And anytime I'd get in the car to go to the mall, on the highway to go to the mall, and that was a lot. It was the 90s. I'd see the big globe and wonder what it was and how I can be a part of it. So happy to be.
I guess the next question is, are you a member of a Kiwanis club somewhere in the area?
I am shopping around. I have visited a couple clubs in Indianapolis, and I'm trying to decide where I'm going to fit.
Okay.
I'm also looking into the virtual options because I'd love to be able to be a part of a club out in the area that I'm working with, which is everything.
Well, we've got 2 clubs for you. Let's talk about it. Aaron, give her the first one.
Right
Talk
on.
about our Rose Float Club.
Well, there is a Kiwanis club. Well, listen, Kylie, we don't have to tell you about the Rose Float. You know, KI has a huge presence, right?
Absolutely.
And there's nothing greater than seeing our float around the world on TV that everybody loves. And it's an award-winning float annually. So even though I am now in Virginia Beach by way of Las Vegas, by way of New Jersey, never really living in California, I am also a member of the Rose Float Kiwanis Club, even way out over here. So I'm bringing attention this way. And then, of course, there's a little something about a Southern California Literacy Club that also more or less is virtual. And I'm a member of that, and as Val. So there are some options on a broader scope that you can get involved with and support as well. And there's nothing greater than, especially with the Rose Float Club, being able to go around, and especially out here where the Rose Float is more or less really just watched on television, where, of course, Cal Neva is knee deep in creating the float. It's so much fun bringing awareness of the float to the clubs that I'm now part of out here, having just recently moved here 4.5 months ago, and educating them on the Rose Float and all that's going on. So it's pretty cool. So those two are always an option, regardless of where you settle down to get your hands dirty there.
That is good to know. I am familiar with the Literacy Club, thanks to Ms. Doc Brown here.
There's no surprise there.
But I did not realize that Rose Bowl or the Rose Parade
Rose Float,
that I could be a part of that. So that is exciting to know.
Absolutely. We have options, girlfriend. We have definite options. So
And my dad actually marched in the Rose Bowl when he was in high school. So there's a great reason to look into that even deeper.
I think. Good morning, Andy. Andy's out in the chat room. Is Andy with you, by the way, Val, or is he back in Cali?
No, he's holding down the fort at home.
All right, Andy,
Hi,
I'm all set. Andy, I know you're watching, so I'm just telling you, it disappears in my background, but there it is. I'm ready to rock and roll for you, Andy. I won't double up on my jokes today since I missed last week, because I know you guys did jokes without me last week. So I'll just stick to my normal routine. Anyway, so let's kind of start talking about this thing called the Possibility Project. And, you know, one of the great things about our show, Kylie, if you haven't had a chance to either catch a little bit of an episode or sharing time with Val or anybody around the KI office, because we've had some folks from the KI office even come on. Our show is also a great resource for newer members, for prospective members, and it's a great B2B, what I call back to basic show for those who, like myself, I've been around the KI family since 1980, starting out as a key clubber. We bring education. We like to bring education, remind people just what the heck we're doing, not just in the local community, but of course, the things that we can impact on a grander scale. So before we jumped on there, Val and I were reminiscing about past programs like the iodine deficiency disorder. That program was in full effect when I joined the KI family way back in the day. And then, of course, what was the recent one, the neo-prenatal thing?
Elimination of maternal neonatal tetanus. And and that program was the most recent that people know about, where we fundraised with a goal of over $110 million to match
which we
the
exceeded.
Bill Gates Fund. So, and it's been amazing.
So
the
now
impact has been worldwide.
Yeah. So now we have this thing for what sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, ladies, and then I'll step out of the way and let you guys have at it. This general umbrella, right, of this thing called the Possibility Project. $25 million over 5 years is what the target is. But one thing I learned in my corporate life is that sometimes when people hear numbers like 25 million, it's incomprehensible. You just can't grasp it. So, courtesy of the Kiwanis.org website, simply says this: through the Kiwanis Children's Fund, $2.25, folks, $2 and half of a latte at your favorite Starbucks place, addresses the needs of just one child. That's it, $2.25. Now imagine we raised $25 million. Think about the happy dollars we put into a meeting every day, every time we attend, right? $2.20. That's about what, a half a gallon of gas, maybe, whatever it is. I mean, trying to simplify the numbers. Hello, Doris. Good morning, Douglas. Go ahead.
It's 28 cents a day. So if you're flipping a quarter into a jar, just add a couple pennies a day.
I was just going to say, I don't have any change in my studio desk, but here you go.
Love it. Thank you. We are excited.
That is fabulous.
That's 3 kids right there.
Perfect.
Wow.
And I'm
So
sorry to interrupt.
no, go.
Oh.
So how did we come up with this? Go for it, guys.
Well, actually, I love your kickoff of this, talking about the numbers, but the number that's really important is the 10 million number, which is 10 million children that are going to be impacted around the world. That is our goal. And that is the goal that we are already on our way to achieve. The money is going out the door to clubs all over, and we are excited to see the impact start. So the Possibility Project is really about providing resources for Kiwanis clubs to reach more children. So I'll back up a little bit and talk more about the Kiwanis Children's Fund first. As you mentioned, we have some amazing signature projects. In the 90s, iodine deficiency disorder project, and then more recently, Eliminate maternal neonatal tetanus, which is fantastic. Those were both in partnership with UNICEF. So this is the first campaign that the Kiwanis Children's Fund is doing to help Kiwanis children or Kiwanis clubs reach their children. So that's really exciting because I know clubs have a lot of service projects that they're really passionate about, and they want to make a broader impact and reach more kids. So that's the first thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we really looked internally and asked Kiwanians what they wanted to be doing. And they told us that kids in their communities have a lot of needs that really fell into 3 buckets: health and nutrition, education literacy, youth leadership development, like I talked about before. And we wanted to be able to address those needs. But we know that Kiwanis clubs, instead of us telling you what to do and giving all Kiwanis clubs one goal to drive towards, like iodine deficiency or MNT, this time we're telling you that we want you to tackle these 3 issues, but for you to do it the best way that you know how in your community to meet your community's needs. So that is how we got to the Possibility Project. We worked 18 months on creating this campaign, working with fantastic folks like Doc Val, and we're on a roll.
You know, I put a shout out to Elon Musk on X because I was like, while you're giving out $1 million checks every day, I would love for you to send $1 million to a project that is helping Americans and all people around the world do good things for kids. It all fit his whole document about doing good things, making sure that we're supporting our local communities first, making sure that our environments are safe and health. So I'm like, please think big when you're thinking about this. It's not just out of Kiwanians' pockets that we want to do this, but we want the clubs to drive it because the clubs know best.
Absolutely.
Kylie, do you have any projects that have already been awarded?
Yes. So most recently, we have a couple of projects over the past year, 3 that were in Calneva in particular, and one of which was the Literacy Club of Salinas, the Books for Beginners, and the Kiwanis Club of Lincoln in Calneva, the Book Vending Machine. Those were both last year. So these are projects that when they apply for grants, they will tell us how many children they'll be impacting, what the project is, what the area of impact will be. And as you know from talking to Tracy, a community impact officer you had on, she works really hard to help the clubs walk through the grant process, use the funds appropriately, follow up, and make sure that they're on the track for success. So the money that we are receiving is going to typically be funded out as fast as we can. And that usually means the next fiscal year. So on that note, as of yesterday or the day before, we've raised $5.9 million, which is really exciting.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That really puts a chunk in. Wow.
Yeah. I was going to say, good morning, Rick Upchurch. I see you out there watching. Former Denver Bronco, good friend of mine, co-host of a show there. Thank you, Rick. So what I really like about this is that I had that, again, you had said something interesting about at the beginning, and that is how sometimes it takes a little bit for the clubs to jump on board. We get a little slow start, right? It's like, oh, great, it's another fundraising thing that KI want, that whole mentality. But seems to me, though, that everybody jumps in. Once the ball gets going, then the train moves, and we end up getting it done. Because I remember IDD, same kind, oh my God, IDD, this and what, but then all of a sudden, every club had very little, not very little. They had very easy, quick ways to raise money. Loose change, like collect loose change. I remember we did all the time. Just collect the loose change in your pocket. That's all I want. And how that added up so quickly. I think we just lost Val, but that just added up so quickly to the results of eliminating IDD that I have a funny feeling that maybe things may seem like they're getting off to a slow start, Kylie, but Kiwanis, well, you will know Kiwanis since as your tenure grows. Once the train gets going and clubs put their minds to it, we will more. I would not be surprised if in 5 years we actually surpass the $25 million.
Absolutely. I have no doubt. And I will tell you, I have lots of suggestions of ways to fundraise, but the very best way that we know how to fundraise based on experience, and folks might remember, are club pledges. We learned a lot from Eliminate and the model club level that we encourage clubs to make that pledge. And we have learned from that, and we've tweaked it quite a bit. So now that recognition level is called the Impact Club. And that is a pledge that will help so many children. The Impact Club pledge means that your club is committing to raising $500, an average of $500 per member over 5 years. And that is a way that your club giving you a goal will drive that fundraising success. And so that is what we're really hoping that our clubs will do to start leading the way. And in Calneva, we do have one documented impact club. I'd love to shout out Herman Platsky and his club, 29 Palms. They were the first in Calneva to make their pledge. And as I said, I work with all the districts to the west. I just received Pacific Northwest's first Impact Club pledge from West Seattle. So thank you to Dennis Sapiro for his help in convening starting a conversation about the Impact Club pledge with his club.
Well, I affectionately call Herman Mr. Ethel M, because every year at this time he's selling nothing but chocolates. It's all you see him is peddling. So it wouldn't surprise me that he's doing some of that as well. All right, let's stop there for a moment. Let's step aside for that first break of the show. Val, you had a little tech issue there. I want to give you a moment or two to make sure you're all good. Kylie, just keep ready to rock and roll. Want to thank everybody for tuning in, man. We appreciate you making us part of your Friday. That's right. It is Friday everywhere in the world, which means we have a couple of days, actually 3-day weekend coming up, which we'll touch on the other side of break. You're watching Kiwanis Connects. We'll be back.
Are you feeling overwhelmed or stressed? Remember to take a moment for your mental health. At the Mental Health Moment, we believe in the power of self-care and community support. Our mission is to encourage and empower individuals across generations to prioritize their mental well-being. Our program called CARE takes you through community, awareness, resources, and education so we can support you every step of the way. Join us at the Mental Health Moment. Visit our website or follow us on social media because your mental health matters. Remember, take a moment for your mental health. Kiwanis International is a global community of clubs, members, and partners dedicated to improving the lives of children one community at a time. Today, we stand with more than 550,000 members, from K-Kids to Key Club to Kiwanis, for all ages in over 80 countries around the world. Each community has different needs, and Kiwanis empowers members to pursue creative ways to serve the needs of children, such as fighting hunger, improving literacy, and offering guidance. Kiwanis clubs host nearly 150,000 service projects each year.
For more information, contact Herman Platsky at KiwanisClubOf29Palms.com.
All right, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. Speaking of Herman Platsky, there he is. But more importantly, folks, this Monday, 11/11, is, of course, the day that we all stand up and we thank all of our veterans, whether you are at home or abroad, active, reserves, retired, family members, anybody that is directly and indirectly involved with the military. We want to say a big thank you from all of us here at Kiwanis Connects. Of course, our guy John back there in Las Vegas is one of those veterans. We thank him. Oh, and the Marine, thank you, John. Marine Corps' birthday is November 10th. So thank you, John. Thank you, Frank Bizzarro. Thank you, Chief. Just a couple of quick names and everybody else who's out there who served our country, because without all of you, the three of us are not here today being able to talk about what we want to, and that is, of course, the Possibility Project. Thank you, John, for putting that up. All right, everybody, welcome back. Uh-oh, looks like we lost Val again. No, there she is. Oh, she's in and out. Okay. When I don't see you on the screen, I get nervous. That's all, especially
I get nervous too. I was like, where am I?
I'm going to say right now, if I hear in the background at that hospital, Dr. Mo, Dr. Larry, Dr. Curley, please report to surgery, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm gonna tell you right
And we're
now.
in trouble.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if we are, Kylie, but somebody back there is in trouble. That's who they're paging.
That's fair.
So 702-992-3207 is our number. We'd love to know maybe what your clubs are doing or thinking about doing to pledge for this cause, for the Possibility Project. As you heard, clubs are already starting to get onto it. Okay, get out there. Let's do this thing. 25 mil in 5 years. Kathy Zemansky's out there in the chat room. She actually echoed the thought that I did, that she believes we're going to easily surpass 25 mil by the time all is said and done. Let's just hope we can count that money better and faster, more accurately than most counties around the country are still counting votes. I say that just because I'm like big. Not that I'm talking political. However, I just think that's funny. Anyway, so I believe that'll be the case. So that's my only.
You always make it fun, and so I do want to say I don't want to leave out anybody on the veterans that are watching, because we have several like my brother is watching, my dad, several other people out there, and Kiwanis is one of those organizations that has stepped away, and this is why I'm adding this in. It's a long way to get back to impact. But one of our main objectives of Kiwanis is patriotism and supporting of our veterans. And many clubs that started in the late 2000s on don't do any veterans-based programs. So this impact grant can, if you're a club that does veterans programs, maybe you can commit to helping raise $500 per member so that another set of clubs can start doing the patriotic programs. Maybe you're not into literacy like some of us are, but you want to serve the community, because our veterans are the ones that have major health issues at this point. They have mental health issues, they have housing needs, and that fits in our health and nutrition pillar of the Possibility Project. There are ways to help your community in the way your community needs it.
I want to, Kylie, you and I were on the same train of thought there, because I'm monitoring the chat room, and our friend Doris out there, she put a comment in there, and Kylie would like to address it. She says, we are a super small club, and I would like to know, Doris, if you don't mind sharing what club that is, just so we know that maybe other Kiwanis clubs can actually help support this. We are a super small club with less than 15 members, but I will ask them. That was her comment. And Andy, Val wants to know if you're broadcasting from the hospital. Can't you text her that stuff here? We're on the air live, Andy. Come on. Anyway,
well, every time a chat shows up on my screen, I get bounced out.
Oh.
So for those who are watching, yes, I am in a hospital in Phoenix. Not life-threatening anymore, so we're all good. But there are people in this poor cafeteria that are going, "What the heck is happening with that black lady in the corner?" And
well, let's see if we can get during a break. Let's see if we can get some of them to wave to. We'll see if we can get anybody to wave to us.
We'll try to do that.
Warner Center of Woodland Hills is Doris's club. So, Kylie, why don't you address that comment, if you would, please?
First of all, that is fantastic. I'm really excited that you're excited about answering the call to help kids now. It doesn't matter the size of your club. When you make that Impact Club pledge, it is based on the count of members that you have that day. And I do want to point out that you don't have to individually fundraise $500 from each member. That's an average. You can do any kind of extra fundraising events. You can collect from one member if they're very generous. But your district foundations, club treasuries, pancake breakfasts in the Pacific Northwest, there's salmon bakes. There are all kinds of ways that you can fundraise. And it really breaks down to, if you are meeting once a month, it's about $8.33, or like I said, 28 cents a day. So it is not that there is not one way to fundraise. And I know that Kiwanians are creative. And that money, it is in grants now because the need is now. And we know that Kiwanians have continued to ask for more funds for their service projects. And I know we just got these numbers in. I know that the requests for funding have increased 10 times over the past several years. The Kiwanis Children's Fund, prior to the Possibility Project, was only able to fund $1 out of every $2 that was requested. So that is why we know the need is now. And the trend continues because we had an uptick of 13% of grant requests for funds last year. So we are excited to be addressing those needs now.
I was also thinking that the Bleckmans, right, when we honor somebody in our club with a Bleckman Award, that also will go towards our pledges. And when we get our Hicksons. So just by honoring members in our club over the, one member each year, that also contributes. And so sorry, Aaron, I stepped on you, but when I start getting this thought, it just comes out of my head. So.
I was just going to suggest to Doris, I mean, the suggestion and the thing we used to do with IDD when members come in, just take the loose change out of your pocket. I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but my glove box is filled with nickels and dimes and pennies and quarters from when you get that change as you're going through a drive-through or you're stopping for a coffee. Just ask your members to bring the loose change in. I guarantee you that $8 for a club that meets monthly, you'll cover that in your first meeting. And if people don't have change, I guarantee you somebody will at least take out a dollar bill, $1. That'll add up. So something as simple as that to just accumulate that money. So across the bottom of the screen now, folks, is on the crawl is the direct link to the KI website, direct to the Possibility Projects tab on the website. So you don't have to worry about going to the KI site unless you're looking for something else, and you can do all the searching stuff. But here on Kiwanis Connects, we try to make it easy for you. So right down there on the bottom is the crawl in the website. Basically, it's, of course, Kiwanis.org / well, that's a lot of forward slashes. Just, copy and paste that thing there. That's all you got to do. Okay.
I just put my email address up there.
Okay.
If you want to send me an email, let me know what club and district you're with. I can direct you to the right people. I'm really excited to start hearing from you.
Put it in the private chat box. John will pick it up, and then we can add that to the crawl as well, if you don't mind. Kylie.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah, put your email in there. John will grab it and put it on the crawl. Go ahead, Val.
I was just thinking if everybody who emails Kylie, every viewer that emails Kylie, could you just email and let her know that you're committing to giving her $5? And some of our shows have been averaging 34,000 views. So we might be able to make our Rose Float Club an impact club just from this show.
Yes, and that's a great point too. As you're talking about clubs that members aren't necessarily all in the same place. Someone said that they don't meet in person. That is fine. Your club can still fundraise and find different ways. Facebook fundraisers are one example. And it's just important to reach out to the Kiwanis Children's Fund, myself, if you want to, so that we can make sure that the pledge is documented. We just need it. We do need it documented so we know to anticipate those funds coming in.
So Absolutely. You just said, Val, $5 per what for based on our member?
Per viewer. For $5 for each person that views this show. If you could just commit to $5. Aren't we averaging like 30,000+ views?
Wow, you are being way too conservative, my friend.
Oh,
Last
really?
show alone with you and Bob, you were at 61,000. The week before, we were at 76,000. Then 54,000, 55, 64, 66. So I don't know what show you're watching for only 30,000 now, but 60,000 views times $5. There's a lot of zeros there, if I'm not mistaken. I think that would be what, about 300,000 if my zeros are correct. So
That's fantastic.
yeah, I tell you what, even right now, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm looking at the numbers correctly, we currently have had small showing so far, but again, we haven't done my post show. So we have about 40 views happening right now. I mean, $5 a view. Come on, that's $200 for doing nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, John, it's in the chat box there. KKHOW.
Palestine.
Well, I was trying to spell it for him. So I'll just recopy it and put it in there for you, John, so we can keep going. So, okay. Anyway, but it's things like that that make things relatively, again, I'm big for reducing things to the smallest number so it's easier for people to grasp, right? $5 a view. Heck, man, 36 views. Can people donate direct on the website? Is there a way to do that if someone wants to talk about that?
Absolutely. And as I talk about the Impact Club Pledge, that is one way to give with your club coming together. But you can donate as individuals as well. And the good news is that all gifts that have been going to the Kiwanis Children's Fund that have been undesignated, meaning you send us money and we put it towards our area of greatest needs rather than saying this is specifically for something else. All of that money is already counting towards the Possibility Project campaign. So that means that your club might already be well on its way to even meeting the Impact Club Pledge or trending that way. So we're really excited that we are already so far on our way.
I'm looking in the chat room. Sorry, Val, I didn't mean to step on you there, but Doris, you might want to make sure you get Kylie's email address, which you see on the screen under her name, because she put a couple other comments in there that I think perhaps the two of you should have a more one-on-one conversation to address some ideas. Okay, so I want to suggest that. Charles Allison, good morning, Charles, out there in Cali, also a member of the Rose Flow Club. It's all about finding specific stories that can connect emotionally to member experiences. Such amazing diversity in Kiwanis, great opportunity to use other people's stories when you don't have your own. Mr. Chadwick, my Batman supplier, says the Kiwanis Literacy Club has some creative ideas for fundraisers looking to be an impact club. He first put unpack, but we got to love it. So, sad part, Douglas, is we knew what you meant before you corrected it. That's a funny thing. We were on that. So we thank you for those comments. So again, here's an example. Again, groundswell, right? People are sharing ideas. We're having a conversation about it. This is exactly what we talked about. Clubs may come out of the gate a little stumbling, right? But here we have people chatting back and forth and already sharing ideas. And if I read the site correctly, and I'm sure you said this earlier, and if you did, I apologize, that to date, some $5 million has been raised, pledged, or something, as I see on the website. Can you just clarify that?
5.9 is the latest number.
Okay, so 6 mil.
Nearly 6 million. Yeah.
Since when? When did the initiative start?
So everything was announced publicly. We were launched publicly on October 1st of 2024, but we've had what almost all large campaigns have, which is a silent phase. So all donations sent in starting in October 1st of 2022 have been counting towards that number.
Well, Val, at this rate, it's $6 million in the first month, 5 weeks. I mean, we'll hit 25 million by the end of this year, let alone in 5.
That's the goal. Most of the people think that I'm kind of nuts when I go to the meetings like with Kylie. I'm like, I'm so excited. And, we just had a presentation over the past weekend in one of the richest regions in all of the world. And people were like, wow, it makes sense when you tell the story. When you tell the story that we are giving out 10,000 books a month in our small community to make sure that every single kid gets a book. But do you know that 500 miles from here, there is no library, there's no bookstore, and the Kiwanis Club really wants to do that project. They just don't have that last bit of monies to make it happen. this possibility project makes that possible, that we can help other Kiwanis clubs be as amazing as ours are.
Absolutely.
It doesn't get any better than that.
No,
It doesn't get
absolutely.
any better.
How is KI publicizing this to the clubs? Is it just through the memos and through written communication? Because I have a reason I'm asking this. So Val knows when I ask silly questions like this, I actually have reasons. So how is this being communicated? Is there a formal, since public, can the public make donations to this?
Oh, please. We would love to have the public make donations. We know that it's typically Kiwanians who do donate, but I actually met with a non-Kiwanian who had given a large gift in the past, the first time I was in California. So we are excited to share the message with everyone.
And how are you doing? How are you getting the message out to the public?
Yes. Well, right now we are focusing in on Kiwanians. So we do have our social media, and that is a great way to share. So right now in this phase, it's Kiwanian focused.
Okay, so
And so we have champions. So like I'm a champion, but I'm also the district coordinator of volunteers.
Mhm.
And so I get to meet with Kylie on a regular basis to figure out what new stuff is out there, what new stories we can share. And then we have champions, like we have Sean Wood, who's a champion in Huntington Beach area. He's already talked to his club, and he's talked to the Harbor City Club, and saying that there's a competition between them to raise more money. And so they've already started at their division council meetings on the rally cry. And those champions are the best ambassadors we have, because they're in the communities and are meeting with the different clubs on a regular basis. And so that's the Kiwanian to Kiwanian touch that we're doing right now.
So the reason I ask is obviously going to the public is going to be something in the phase of the process. Yes, is what it sounds like, right?
Yes. So were you asking about
right, going out to the public?
Gotcha.
So here's why I'm asking. A certain show called Kiwanis Connects offers customized commercials to be created for Kiwanis clubs for branding or whatever, as well as business members. If they have a business, they are welcome to take advantage of it, because based on the donation and contribution, a small percentage of that goes back to the Roseflow Club as a fundraiser for them, and of course keeps our show on the air. So what I'd like to put out there for thought process is, since Val is on the committee, I'll let her voice it on behalf of someone like me, is my company, The Voice. Now, if I have other people that want to join in with me, that's okay. I'll split the cost with them. But I like to pledge to cover a customized commercial that'll be used to generate outside contributions, the public, not Kiwanis.
Yeah.
And we'll do that with the way we usually put a commercial together, which right now is moot for this conversation. But I will pledge a maximum of up to $350, where $50 of off the top goes to the Rose Float. That's for 90 seconds. $300 is for 60, and $250 is for 30-second commercial. $50 of each goes to the Rose Float. So, boys, on his own, unless, like I said, other clubs want to join me in this effort to create a public commercial and help cover the cost with me, that's fine. So, Val, I will leave it in your capable hands to talk with Kylie and figure out what you guys want to do to put a commercial together to approach the public support. Now, if Kiwanians, we're going to show it on the show, so obviously Kiwanians are going to see it. But this way, you guys, KI, you want to put it on your public access television stations out there, go ahead. If the clubs can take the commercial, or you contact all the stations around the country, around the world, give them the commercial, that's fine. Whatever you want to do to make it impact for the public to support this cause, because that's a win-win for Kiwanis across the board by having the public participate and getting our name out there that we're involved in such a project. So, Val, let it be said, let it be written, let it be so, whatever that saying goes.
It is,
and I know,
and it is real. It is real.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
Doug,
Thank you
Douglas,
so much.
Thank you, Douglas.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Kylie. Douglas just chimed in. He's going to cover $25 of it with me. So thank you, Douglas.
Thank you.
So it's there. The tool is there. We can do it as early and as quickly as you want it. So it's in your back pocket whenever you guys want to use it. Douglas is putting a challenge out to other champions to donate $25 into the cause with me. So Right now, Douglas is there. And when we get to that point, Douglas, I'll ask you to coordinate all the champions, and then you and I will communicate how to get that done. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
message
hog
is
up.
like,
Thank you so
message me
much.
so that I can send in my amount. I'm not saying it out loud because I know Andy's watching.
Oh.
But yeah, we're all in. Because
Whatever you guys do.
Yeah, this is the
So-
way
Thank
we
you
make
so
things
much.
happen.
Mhm.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, everybody.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Kathy Szymanski just jumped in with 25. So thank you. So what we'll do
you.
then is that if we get enough people, no matter how we divide it up, instead of it being in the name of the voice, it'll just be in the name of Kiwanis providing this commercial to go out to the public. We'll figure all that out. But
Sure.
all right, you guys had that. All right. I didn't mean to take 10 minutes of valuable time up, but I thought it was an important step to let even our Kiwanians see and realize that as important as this project is, the weight of support for this should not be just on our Kiwanis shoulders. And so we need to reach out to the general public, because in the end, what's the worst thing that'll happen? We get Kiwanis members out of this. Holy cow, what a concept. Woohoo! Right?
Right?
So Val has learned over the years that there are methods to my craziness sometimes when I start doing some of this stuff. And so it'll be a win-win. All right. So Val, we have a couple of minutes before we take our last break. So why don't you take it away?
Well, I wanted to say that I know that Douglas has been. Are they putting in funny chat comments and I can't see it?
Andy just put in there, Val, really?
Like I said, really?
That's it.
Andy, I have a couple of dollars. I promise. But I think that for some clubs, they're like, we already are tapped out. We already are so overextended in what we do. And so it is thinking about different ways to honor your current members. It's going out into the community, talking to people that love to support Kiwanis, and asking them if they don't mind supporting this, even though they may not want to join right now. Joining it and going out, and that extra public step is huge, because it not only helps with the Possibility Project and meeting our goal of helping 10 million children. It really makes an impression on people that Kiwanis is the one organization that really is on the main mission of helping our kids and helping our community. And so it looks like Aaron's trying not to laugh. So
No.
Okay,
No, I'm
what's
not trying
happening out
to
there?
laugh. No, not trying to laugh. As you were speaking your last sentence or two, your feed was starting to break up a little bit, and I'm got garbled. I'm sitting here thinking, like, please just hold on for another minute or two until she completes her thought. So I'll tell you what, I think that's a sign from above. Let's take a quick break. Give Val's link a second or two to calm down. When we come back, we got Kiwanis Wow moments. We've got more with Kylie. Hey, keep those $25 or whatever you guys want to contribute towards the commercial coming. My friend Douglas, he'll coordinate all that on my behalf. He and I will get together and make all that happen for the commercial. Bad dad jokes, wow moments, more with Kylie. And anything else y'all want to chime in there, the chat room is open. 702-992-3207 is our phone number. Don't go anywhere, because I'll come chase you down and tell you some bad dad jokes in person. We'll be right back.
Are you feeling overwhelmed or stressed? Remember to take a moment for your mental health. At the Mental Health Moment, we believe in the power of self-care and community support. Our mission is to encourage and empower individuals across generations to prioritize their mental well-being. Our program, called CARE, takes you through community, awareness, resources, and education so we can support you every step of the way. Join us at the Mental Health Moment. Visit our website or follow us on social media, because your mental health matters. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
Thanks to the efforts of the Cal Neva District of Kiwanis, there's been a Kiwanis presence in the Rose Bowl Parade for more than half of the New Year's Day Parade since 1921. In the past, our efforts were funded through club sponsorships, outside sponsorships, by the generous donations from Kiwanis members or club foundations sponsoring riders on the Kiwanis float itself. The District Rose Float Committee handles fundraising, and the Kiwanis Rose Float Club secures and organizes the volunteers. When Kiwanis International wanted to sponsor a large portion of our float, momentum from our clubs was lost due to any fundraising. The time has come to have our clubs increase their involvement in the fundraising efforts. But the Rose Float Kiwanis Club needs the help from all Kiwanis clubs, its members, and businesses to answer the call for support. Visit our Kiwanis Rose Float page on Facebook. Help make sure that Kiwanis International will let the world continue to smell the roses for a long time. All right, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects, the show that makes things happen, because during commercial break, Maritza jumped in there with a little contribution as well. So thank you, Maritza. We appreciate it. Douglas, John, there is a challenge. That sounds like that's probably going to John Chadwick, not John Stiles, I'm guessing. So welcome back. If you've missed this show, ladies and gentlemen, when we're done in about 15 minutes, you better go back on either Facebook, YouTube, or Roku and watch again, because there's a lot of good stuff going on here, especially Kylie's email address, which is on the screen there. If you have any questions about the project, the program, concerns, or anything you want, Kylie's here that can help us. You can go right on the KI site. So, Kylie, I'm going to ask you to put on your sales pitch hat, which, of course, your title is, what was it, developmental personnel or something, whatever your title was?
Development officer.
Okay, there you go. I know it's developmental. I knew mental was in there somewhere. So let's say there's members of a club right now that are watching, that are maybe sitting on the fence saying, we got more important things to do locally that we want to spend our money on, yada, yada, yada. What's this another project, 5 million, whatever. Talk to those clubs out there right now that I want to say are kind of like sitting on the fence, the yay, nay. Talk to them and share your thoughts about this project with those folks.
Absolutely. Well, give me a moment. Sorry.
Yeah, I catch up. I do that all the time.
Putting the hat on.
Putting the hat on.
Putting the hat on.
Absolutely. All right. Well, it is a great point that a lot of people are really thinking locally about their giving. And the truth is that kids need help now more than ever. 1 out of 3 homes, low-income homes in the United States don't have books. 1 out of 6, I believe the number is 1 out of 6 kids aren't civically engaged, and it is $15,000 for the first year to raise a baby. So the need is now, and kids are suffering now. So our Kiwanis clubs are well positioned to understand all over the world what the needs are in their community. So your money will provide broader impact to those Kiwanis clubs to do their service projects and reach the kids that are in the greatest need. So we are thinking about your giving as a competition between giving to your club or giving to your district foundation. This is an extension of your giving. We are asking you to stretch your philanthropy, stretch your kindness to include the rest of the Kiwanians in the organization, to include all the kids that those Kiwanians touch. So that is why you can give to the Possibility Project today.
There you go. But wait, there's more. No, I'm only kidding. Well done.
There's more. We have the light up buttons.
That's right.
We do.
I'm a swag guy. I'm a hat and t-shirt guy. So if you guys have like that stuff available for the Possibilities Project, you got to let me know, because I'm in for some of that swag right away.
We might
have
some. Be out of our light up buttons. I'm not sure. Those were for.
No, I have some.
Okay, Val.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're holding out on me, Val.
Since you're doing the commercial, I will put it in the mail as soon as I get home. You get your little necker thing and the little light up button. So absolutely.
John Crawford. All right, John Crawford. First of all, I love John Crawford. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't care what Douglas Chadwick says about him. I love John Chadwick. So if I was a football official, which I used to be, and I'm wearing pinstripes like you are, this would be a perfect time for me to throw a flag for offsides, illegal encroachment, early start, because he jumped in there throwing in a bad dad joke before we even got to the darn segment. He said he had a dream that he was floating in an ocean of orange soda. Turns out it was just a fantasy.
Love that.
The good news is my jokes will take the bar higher. That's the good news. We have about 10 minutes left in the show. So, Doc Val, it's time for some Kiwanis wow moments. John, hit it. All right, Val, take it away.
I love that little graphic. It makes me feel so special. But the biggest wow moment happened this week was the number of Kiwanians that volunteered to be poll workers across the United States. I saw so many posts. They put their names, their lives on the line to make sure that we had a very safe and peaceful election. And I want to thank every single poll worker that was out there. I was wowed when I stopped down the street from my grandmother's house at the polling station just to say hello. There were actually 4 Kiwanis members in their Kiwanis t-shirts working. That says it all about who we are as people and where we're going. So I think that that's amazing. And so I also wanted to add another segment to our show. Is it okay for me to do that today?
Sure.
All right. We've had this amazing sponsor for the past 6 months, Melissa from the Mental Health Matters. And she has been, you've seen her commercials. We've run her commercials several times. And it really sparked an idea for me. And that is that we need to have a mental health moment. And so at every show from here on out, we're going to do a 1-minute mental health moment. And so this is the inaugural one. I've already taken up a minute just explaining it.
Okay.
That's right. That one mental health moment is for you. You may be a Kiwanis member out there and doing all the service that you do. So this mental health moment is for you personally. It is every day that you're out there, look for the glimmers. Look for that one sparkle that you can feel gratitude for. Because no matter what you're doing, and you may sometimes feel like no matter how much we have to do, there's so much more to do. That's why the Possibility Project exists, because there's so much out there that needs to be done. Take a moment to look at that glimmer, that wow moment, that thinking thing that made you say, there's good out there. Look for the glimmer. That was my minute.
Absolutely. Well, we'll do that. We'll do that in the show. Love it. Absolutely. There's a quick question that came in before I get to bad dad jokes. And it was Douglas actually asking John a question, John Chadwick, but I will, Kylie or Val, you can answer this. Because can we use the name Possibility Project and images to help fundraise?
The best way to, the best way to fundraise is to get in touch with the Kiwanis Children's Fund, and we can help you start to do that as a champion, which is the volunteer role that helps share the information to other clubs in their areas. You'll get all kinds of tools that you can use to fundraise. So otherwise, please reshare the posts on social media that you're seeing from the main Kiwanis page, Kiwanis International information. And that those are the ways that you can leverage some of our social and digital assets, as they say.
Right on, right on.
Well,
Doris,
I know where Douglas is going with that, and so I'm not going to be a spoiler ideas, but an extension of it is if my club wants to sell hats that say Kiwanis makes everything possible, the Possibility Project logo, is it okay for us to do that?
I am not
so you're saying yes, or do we check it through you guys?
Okay. You know, but I can get that answer to you. I don't want to speak out of turn.
Yeah.
But I would imagine
that would be what Douglas is asking is when we do
great.
something that raises funds, is it okay? So we're gonna say we need to contact you guys, get it through legal before we use it, right?
And I'm probably making that sound more daunting than
no. It's the reality of our world.
Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. Doris has a comment for you, Val. She says, Val, I love reading your moments you post on Facebook. So, all right.
Thank you, Doris.
It is that time as we wrap up. We've had a great week. This has been a week of let's just say it's been a week. We'll just leave it at that. So it's time to make some laughter as we head on out and wrap up this show. It is time for some bad dad jokes. John, take it away, please.
He's gone.
John, have you fallen asleep, John? All right, never mind.
No. Listen, I told you a little while ago we had some intermittent
internet going in and out.
Okay.
I've lost a lot of the stuff that I had up here,
Oh,
and I can't reload it until after the show. So
fine. Fine. All right. You'll all just have to laugh out loud. That's all.
comes your bad dad jokes.
Thanks, John. So these are the daily joke books. So that we're going to go from November 1st through today because I can actually. Here you go. Here's your first one. How do you get a squirrel to like you? You act like a nut.
Uh,
That was November 1st. Hey,
That was good.
I just read them, folks. Next one. What dinosaur had the best vocabulary? What dinosaur had the best vocabulary? Did you know it was the thesaurus? That okay. God, I'm getting it. I'm not looking up. I'm not going to look up at the screen anymore. Val's shooting eyes at me. Next one. Next one. What do you get when you call?
Kylie's holding it.
I know. I can see that. Yes, she's trying to hold.
I didn't know if I'm supposed to or if I'm
Oh no, no, let it out,
Absolutely.
please. By all
Okay.
means.
But
My
yes,
goal every week is to get at least that one joke that gets Val off the chair in laughter, just so you know. Okay, so obviously the first couple have not done that yet. Okay, good thing she's in the hospital, though, when it does happen. All right, here we go. What do you get when you cross a vampire and a snowman? You get frostbite. You get frostbite. Oh, see, I'm starting on that one.
Better.
All right, we're getting there. Got to work. Listen, I missed last week's show, Val. I'm out of practice. I got to get back. You know what I'm saying? What do you call an elephant that doesn't matter? It's an irrelevant. Okay. Wow. What a tough crowd today. Hey, here's one for you. See, that one had a delayed burn. That's what I call the delayed burn joke. All right. Why should you stand in the corner if you get cold? For you people in the wintertime. You know why? Because it's always 90 degrees. Oh, I got Kylie on that one. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Dun, 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 dun. I got Kylie on that one. She couldn't hold it in anymore. She'll be the one going around the office the rest of the day telling that joke. I guarantee it. At least
I am that person though.
right. I only met her before going down the end. I can already tell. All right, here you go. Why is Peter Pan always flying? Because he never lands. He never lands.
Oh,
Dr. Mo, Dr. Larry, Dr. Curly on their way there, Val?
they are.
right.
I'm going mute.
Did you hear about the boy who tried to catch Did you hear about the boy who tried to catch fog? He missed. Fog missed. Okay, that wasn't so good. Kylie's like, shut the frig up already, will you please?
Never.
No. Here you go. I went to buy some camouflage trousers the other day, but I couldn't find any. Okay, how do modern day pirates keep in touch? Sea mail. Oh God, two more, I promise.
Actually, I like that one.
You like that one? Okay.
I like
How do you?
that
Okay. I'm sorry. What do you call a man with a shovel? Doug. Okay, last one for November 11th. For Kylie was trying to hold out. Like she's sitting there and then all of a sudden, like a balloon letting out air. Okay, I'll let it go. All right, here we go. Last one. This is November 11th. This is for Veterans Day. Once again, before we say goodbye, thank you to everybody for Veterans Day. As you see here, who is the most famous fish spy? Oh, Charles puts a great gift. Sorry. You know the most famous fish spy. Try to say that fast. Most famous fish spy is James Pond. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I said it. I read it. James Pond, 007. Or it should be.
You know,
Is that good?
I'm so glad you're back, Mike. You know, doing this show for 60,000 people is not the same when you're not here.
Oh, thank
And
you.
I know that all 60,000 are going to be waiting for that moment for Jack Pond. Okay.
That's right. Remember that the next time you see or Sean Connery or you hear the 007 music, you're going to be thinking about them, folks. You're going to be thinking about a fish driving that little London car underwater like SpongeBob, right? You know, so the fish who loved me, like fish called Wanda, you got a fish who loved me now.
Let me save you, Aaron. So if you're still here laughing with us, please, please, please take up the challenge and commit to emailing Kylie with your $5. So if 60,000 people send in $5, Kylie will be very, very happy. But more importantly, that will help almost, I'm doing the numbers in my head, 120,000 kids. So that's where the part that's the most important. And when you can help that many kids have a better life and empower them to be amazing, strong people, you've made the world better.
I will say this, if Kylie gets that money by next Friday's show, this will kill Andy. But if she gets 60,000 times 5, whatever all that numbers works out to be, I will not do bad dad jokes next week.
Oh,
Sorry,
no,
Andy.
no.
Well, listen, I got to give people a reason to send the money. I mean, not that I need to. I mean, helping 10 million kids and all 200,000 kids, it should be enough of a reason. But, you know, Maritza says it's $300,000. Either way, get that $5 in. We appreciate it. Again, any questions for Kylie, her email's on the bottom. Reach out to her. Good stuff. We're at $6 million already, and we're only 5 or 5.5 weeks into this thing. God almighty, we're going to blow by $25 million. I bet you $250 million is what we'll end up having in five years at this rate. Anyway,
that'd be beautiful.
Kylie, thank you so very much for coming on today, for enduring this stuff and sharing with our Kiwanis world and outside world what we as an organization are doing.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
And we look forward to having you back on with periodic updates as well. Doc Val, final thoughts from you there in Phoenix.
It's so good to be a Kiwanian. It's so good to be here with all of you, because when we can get together and focus in on the kids, we know that we're doing the right thing. So thank you all who are watching. I hope that you'll be back to watch us again next week.
Yeah, please do. Otherwise, please do come back, because otherwise I get fired and I have nothing to do at 11 o'clock Eastern time. Okay, with that, everybody, as always, thank you for watching. Please share the feed with others. As I always like to end every show, be kind to everybody. Why is that? We are all we have. With that, we are adjourned for this week. Thank you, everybody. Happy Veterans Day!